Alright, I'm gonna get out of this call.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. You're the best.
I think we're online now.
Just let me know when we're live, because I'm just going to only see your stream. I don't have the actual stream up. I have
You're
chat up as a
live.
pop-out. Excellent. I only noticed that new Tetris logo like last week while watching the replays. They even changed the Tetris Effect logo for that.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, hopefully LXS can do something about his stream, because there's not too much I can do. Oh. Let me go ahead and give them access to this channel. Okay. Alright, so we just need to have all of them check in Discord. Just need to make sure that they're ready. Guess we'll have to do a countdown via chat.
A bot for that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they can hear us on stream live, just FYI. Thanks, chat. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in today. We'll sound official in a minute.
Right. Sounds hot, slightly distorted. Can you talk real quick?
Yes, sir. Talking test 1, 2. Hello. Do I sound hot and distorted, or do I look hot and distorted?
Pretty sure Adam said you sounded
Neither.
hot and distorted.
I know, but I have to start with the cheese. I gotta start bringing the cheesy jokes right away. That's all I got to offer.
Nah, you got some pretty calm
I got-
commentary. Some cool, collected commentary.
Appreciate it.
Alright.
From you especially. But well, hey, there we are. Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Heck yeah. Welcome to the Silver Bracket, everybody. CTWC 2020 continues. We've already had... The kids say hype, right? You're my kid translation expert over here, Mr. Sharky.
Yeah, definitely
and-
have a hype tournament.
This has been so much fun all month. This has been like the only good thing to come out of COVID this year is getting all these players into the scene this year, onto the main stage. And today we have the Silver Bracket, which, you know, some of the chatters like, oh, who wants to see the Silver Bracket? These guys are so cute. Like, no, come on. The cutoff was in the mid 700,000s for 96th place. Last year, that would have got you into the top 48. So we've essentially doubled our field.
That would put you
kept
like
the
around
same
like
cutoff.
40th seed.
So we're going to have some great matches today. We're going to have some great vets. We're going to have a lot of the kids in here too. So we can start off with the smack talk between the DAS and the Hypertap again. It's always fun to read and chat while we're commentating these matches.
Yeah,
And
actually, interesting fact, there's like only 6 hyper tappers in this, so the DAS could just overwhelm them here.
We should see. We'll see. But Batfoy is like the big story here. He was barely missed the cutoff. He had a rough qual. He got his 800 some K, like an 890, I believe, on his very last run, and he got about a 4 or 5 seed in our bracket today. My Tetris hero, Ben Mullen. You know, everybody talks about Joseph being the reason that they're here. When I saw Ben Mullen 9 years ago presenting the XC of Order, he was my Tetris hero. It's like this guy I could relate to. What a game, and I'm here because of him. So getting to see him, and of course the one and only Matt Bucco. Break out your nondescript, cheap domestic brews today for Matt Bucco. But he's going to play, and lots of others. The debut of Anna, it's going to be super hype. I'm sure you've got lots of the other names in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't have in front of me. Packy, my boy Packy. How could I forget Packy? So it just keeps going on, and everybody's already chanting for their favorite players in chat. We love you guys for watching today, because we know our core fans are the ones who are really holding on to every match, silver bracket, gold bracket, quals, everything. And we appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting, you know, have a lot of veteran players, have a lot of new players, and then there's a bunch of other people too that, you know, I haven't quite heard of. And so it's interesting to see, you know, what they're going to be able to do up here on the stage. But let's go ahead and pull up our 4 players. Looks like Alex S is there, Indie Rocky, FBI Stevo, and Wing.
Indie Rocker, new dad, and player number 2 enter the family after their first kiddo a few months ago. So see if the lack of sleep will affect his gameplay today. And we were just discussing Wing here. He's not Wing Fryer, he's a different Wing. So we have about as many wings as we have Chris's, apparently. So we got the B-Dub special.
There's also a couple Michaels in the scene.
Yeah, they wouldn't be sitting next to one, by the way. Looking sharp, by the way. I saw your outfit before. I like the outfit game we've all been working on in the commentary team. Appreciate that.
I mean,
and,
you got to give your best to provide the best, and that's what these players are also going to be doing here today.
Heck yeah. And you were talking about this, some of the players have this cool layout that, not quite max out club, but you see on Indie Rocker's screen, when you get the top out, it'll display the score. It'll just show Tetris and the St. Basil's Cathedral there.
Yeah.
So it's a nice, cool little filter that we have to make it easier for our broadcast today. So you see Wing's screen too. He's got it up there. It just says Tetris 89. So getting our final warm-ups in.
Yeah. We have readies from all the players, and we can get started here.
So Alex would be our bubble boy this year. He finished with, I would assume, a low 900s
Yeah, I think it was
to
like
get that number 65 seed.
somewhere like 915. So like
Oh man.
4K off a cutoff.
So let's about a double away from qualifying for the big show. So he's going to be your mathematical favorite for the silver bracket today. And Indie Rocker was number 96, our bubble boy for the silver tournament, with a 750-ish score. I don't have the scores in front of me, but we are going to start here in any moment.
Okay. Indie Rocker is ready. I see that. We just need it ready from FBI, Steve-O, Wing. Still experiencing issues for Alex, though.
We probably just get the game on the bottom started. We don't need a simultaneous start.
Yeah. Alright, Wing is
And
ready.
we will be doing that. Wing is ready.
And FBI
We'll be doing
Steve-O is ready.
chat countdown.
Yeah, we'll do a chat countdown. Alright, so getting started at
Good,
the bottom.
CTF stuff.
Yeah, in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I guess while
Away
we're
we
trying to
go.
get Alex's stream up, we can swap to our 2-player scene. Ooh, name's kind of
Yeah.
jacked up. Let's fix that. Okay, so FBI Steve, I know that he is a
flies to the middle.
he's a 900k player, and Wing is a max out player. So that means they both can show, you know, some really hype games here in the post transition.
That's going to be the key. It's the transition. It's post-transition play with the professional game. Anytime you don't get the transition, and lose and top out, that's kind of a BS gimme to the other player. And if you're going to win today's tournament, it's going to be, can you get to kill screen consistently? Can you score 50% or higher Tetris rate consistently?
Yeah.
And we're not going to have the benefit of the Max Out Club Tetris rate, so we're going to have to kind of wing it. No pun intended, wing. But you can kind of tell. Here I go already. Get the groan counter going. But so, you know, basically you want about 100,000 points every 20 to 25 lines. And Steve's already on that pace right away.
Yeah, definitely.
Wing's a little behind, but he's got a clean board.
Definitely, you know, maintaining a small advantage here, just playing a little bit more efficient. You know, best of 3 format is really brutal because, you know, an early top out, that's just one step closer your opponent is to eliminating you at the tournament.
And the thing that it did improve this year with CTWC 2020 was the number of games that went the distance. I noticed in the later CTMs leading up to CTWC, I noticed especially at CTWC 2019, a lot of the new kids on the block were going for the 500-foot home runs every game. And that isn't going to cut it. You got to be consistent. You got to get 900,000 every time, rather than going for the 1.2 million and taking every risk possible. You got to dial it back just enough to keep the pressure on your opponent, but you can't take every safe burn. You got to find that fine tuning. It's really difficult. And Steve has already lined a pennant there.
Yeah.
Column 3, he's already in trouble.
Yeah, it's going to look like it's going to be difficult for him to get out of this. Yeah, Steve-O's going to top out at 169. Wing needs to get to 170. Just played a tad bit aggressive there and made a misdrop.
Yeah, he's going for that line drop, and he missed one tap, or well, he's a dash player, so he missed a skill stop there. The one Tetris should do it for Wing. He's almost Tetris ready, but he might play it safe, which is, I got yelled at in the comments for suggesting a player go for a Tetris and a chase down. Nope, line it out every time. But
I mean, it depends. If you want to do it with style, you can do it for Tetris. But if you want to, you know, not take any risks, because remember, we are playing classic Tetris. This isn't guideline. You can just get hit with a 40 drought out of nowhere. And, you know, setting up for that Tetris and get hit with a 40 drought, you could have potentially costed you the game.
oh yeah,
So, needs to get to 170. He's 13,000 points away.
Tetris ready, waiting for that long piece to get the first heart.
And
there
there
it is. Boom, Tetris for Wing.
Taking the first game.
Game 1. He can go ahead and top out. And I loved all the Ben Mullen memes, because before we had max out players on stage, he was the closest to get to a max out, but did that in a game versus Yanni a few years ago. He proceeded to break 900,000, did a little dance on stage, got the best CTWC on stage score ever, and then proceeded to lose his next 2 games. So that's the part of the meme everybody forgets to mention. And I admit I was the commentator and I egged him on because we wanted to see that 7th digit. But that's win your games, guys.
Yeah. Also,
so
thing about Wing, he is the CTEC champ.
Oh yeah.
So
congrats.
He's coming in here, fresh off of that victory, might look to continue it here.
Been a powerful, packed month and a half of Tetris, just with between quals and gold, CTEC, now silver. We're gonna have like a few weeks break before December 6th.
All right.
The final 8 CTWC Sunday. We're gonna go for game 2 here.
All right, both players are ready in chat, so let's go ahead and count them down. 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
So, you gotta mention the hat that Steve-O's wearing there. I don't know what to say about it, but you just gotta say that it's there and pay attention to it.
Hey, maybe it's like,
the nice little,
could be like Corion's swim cap.
Yeah.
That could be what he needs to ascend further beyond in his Tetris arsenal.
Quarterbacks in the NFL like to keep their hands warm and like pocket protectors, so Tetris players need to keep their brain warm. And then the sweater over the wings tied around his neck there, that's very stylish. I think if Jonas were here, he'd appreciate the style choice there. So on the game 2.
Both players, starting off incredibly clean. And just seem to have run into a little bit of issues there with the pieces, not really able to do too much with them. So having to take, conservative burns, but this is best of 3, so all the pressure is on Steve-O here. Essentially, Wing has 1 game left to give.
Is a game to give, so that's the big decision. Is when every time you have the decision, do I stack this up or do I burn it? Do I stack this up or do I burn it? With every single piece. And if you're Wing, maybe you turn it down slightly and burn it slightly more often. But maybe don't. Maybe you keep the pressure on Steve-O. That's the beauty of the strategy of this game. It's ever-changing, depending on every piece in every situation.
Yeah, Steve-O looking a little bit high. He's actually going to do some pretty smart burns to try and get out of this. It's going to cost him a few lines. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's about a 6-line burn.
Yeah, Wing over there with a nice flat burn as well.
So we got a virtual tie, 1,000-point difference between the 2 players, about 32 lines to 28 lines. The Wing's got a clean board. Steve-O's still working on his burns. He's burned about 16, 17 lines at this point, but he's finally Tetris ready and back in it. 1 Tetris should tie this back up again. And there it is. Tetris for Steve-O.
Yeah, both players incredibly clean boards. As of right now, it's too early to call anything, but this is approximately like what you're looking at for like a low 500 transition. So they can keep this up, maybe even bump up their Tetris rate. We can see some 500s going around transition time.
So roughly about a 66%, 65% Tetris rate for both players at the moment. I'm just doing back of my hand calculations on that.
Ooh, Steve-O got a little bit
aggressive
in the middle there.
And he,
yeah.
And it's going to be difficult to burn this down.
Yeah, and that's going to be it for
danger,
Steve-O.
and he is. So Wing
just played a bit too aggressive.
To round 2. Yeah.
He was looking for that specific piece to be as efficient as possible, and the piece didn't come, and the board just got into a state to where there's not really much he could have done. But congratulations, Wing. You advance to round 2. Let's take
Steve-O needs a hug, according to his shirt there. Virtual hug for his nice instruments in the background there. Very nice. Just noticed that when he leaned up. Got the music nerd reference shirt there.
Yeah. Let's take
we have our first match going.
Appears Alex S is still down. So let's see if we can.
So we have a schedule to keep. So the official, we will have time limits if people aren't able to get their streams up and going.
Yeah.
So I'm not the judge. I can't make that final call, but I do know that we do have time limits on getting these games up.
Yeah, I think we have
hopefully,
roughly 5 more minutes for Alex, and then we'll have
5
to
more
move
minutes.
on to our next.
Well, in that time, why don't we go ahead and do a ad here?
Okay.
We'd like to thank the Tetris Company once again special thanks to Tetris for sponsoring all of the cash prizes for this year's event. $10,000 for our gold bracket and $500 for our silver bracket today. We are playing for money in the silver bracket. I believe it's $200 for the winner, $100 for runner-up, and then $50 each for places 3 and 4. That's $400. Again, math. I'm old. So again, if you want to follow Tetris Official on Instagram, they are giving away prizes. And all it takes is a simple follow. Everybody, if you have Instagram, just get on your phone, Tetris_official, help them out. They love us. They give us prize money. We love them. They put out great products year in and year out now. If they Tetris Effect connected yet, you know that they've been improving their product steadily over the past few years, and we really appreciate them for getting those licenses out to those companies to make those great games. So,
all right. So apparently he's trying to fix something with his OBS. So we'll go ahead and we'll swap over to our commentator hot seat, and we'll be able to give him 5 minutes for that. And if not, then we'll just have to move on.
There's my main man Sharky over there. 1 year ago, kid in the Jordan outfit, playing his heart out with the great hair. He's doing. My proudest moment was deeming the Piper Jolt, because you put so much body English into that move. And 1 year later, you've busted your ass, and you're a restreamer. You're putting up videos. You're staying up till 3 a.m. editing stuff down. You're helping CTWC now. You're hosting the silver bracket. Hell of a job, dude. Way to go. Keep up the good work. I'm so proud of you. I hope you don't burn yourself out. That's my only worry. And special MVP vote to your brother, who had to stay up when you were editing down your CTWC preview video, who was so sleepy behind you while you were.
It was actually in the afternoon. I had bribed him. I told him that if he could let me record this video for 50 minutes, I'll let him have a couple goes on Tetris.
What's his PB?
His PB is still the same from when he was 2 years old, so it's like 240 from level 0. So he managed to get one line and then a lot of push down.
When I got Tetris back when I was 12, 13 years old, that was the game that got my mom into Nintendo, and that's about her PB. About 200,000 from the 0 start. So nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And, with Tetris Effect coming out and some of the guideline players finally playing the classic mode and seeing for themselves what a pain in the butt it really is. When you have players like Wombo posting, "I beat a CTWC vet on classic mode." I think the gospel of our version of the game is only going to grow, and people will understand how difficult this game really is, but how much fun it can be too. Just plain old vanilla, old school hardcore Tetris. And when you get those players getting into our version, the growth potential is just off the charts.
Yeah, I know just about all of my family except for my younger sister. They all, got in, they all like to see me play Tetris, and they like to play as well. Kyrie right now, even he's managed to get 2 lines. Still lower score than Carter, because Carter just pushed down, so I guess he takes after me. And then my youngest sister, she's managed to get 50 lines from a level 0 start with a PB of like 11k. So
nice.
Starting them early. Carter told me that he wants to be the youngest max out player whenever I asked him the question. And I think that if there's anyone to coach him to do that, it could be me.
That'd be you. I forgot about that on your resume, coaching. Like you got your Tetris camp, your boot camp. You got Jaws sponsoring you on Patreon, and he's looking to get some tips from you when he was doing his run back during the quals. He was putting up signs saying, "Help me, Sharky." So I think you got to help him out there and be the #1 skateboarder. You'll get all these titles under your belt. You'll be like the later Rocky movie when you became a coach rather than a player. But speaking of player, you also made top 16 this year, bro. So like.
Yeah, a lot of people had more faith in me than I did. I only expected to get past Opox, or at least past losers round 1. I was like, if I make top 16, that'd be a miracle. But everyone's like, oh, Sharky top 8, Sharky top 16. I'm like, I don't know where you guys are getting this from. I need a long way to go, and I personally still feel like that.
I think it's your tournament prowess. I really do. Like you had the stamina from playing other sports and doing your real life activities. Like you had that grind in you to play it all the way out. I mean, Nenu had even more, but you lasted a good 7 hours or however long that stream was. 'Cause that was like the first day when we had delays and went a little bit longer than the other sub brackets. So, hell of a job, dude. Can't wait to see what you do in the next year. My only word, like I said, don't burn out. Take a little break after this is over, but keep it up and can't wait to see you in real life next year when the pandemic's finally over.
Yeah, kind of like, I don't know how I got all that energy or stamina, because the day prior to the tournament, I played 10 hours. I was just trying to, it was like practice, but then like I was like, oh snap, this could be like my best session. And so I was able to get like 10 maxes in that session, putting me like at 60 maxes for October.
Two a day, you know, that's a literal sports term, 2 a day. So there you go, get your 2 maxes a day and you'll make the top 8 or top 16 in CTWC. How are we looking with Indie Rocker and Alex?
All right, so we're gonna have to delay Alex. So meanwhile, we're gonna be pulling up Ben Mullen, and
all right,
and LMAO, which is his actual name. So
the memes write themselves.
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, I'm gonna pull up this bracket for you guys all to see.
Oh yeah, there's our top 8. There's our silver bracket. Where I have one of those filled in. So
yet.
Okay.
Sure, Chris Forrest will get on that eventually.
Chris Forrest, the MVP judge of the this year's bracket, one of the Chris team. So, and then we also have Naylee's and NDC Man, because I'm gonna have to squint at this tiny bracket, so bear with me.
Yeah, apparently Nihilus is actually forfeited, so NGC Man is actually gonna get a bye, which is unfortunate.
Excellent. Like we were joking that this was kind of like the classic Tetris World Championship, because it's the best 2 or 3 format. It's the different piece sets. It's a lot of the older players, and also like a classic Tetris World Championship, we have forfeits for a change. So this is getting some 2013 vibes out of this. But hey, we got a LMAO and Ben Mullen coming up. And like I said earlier, Ben Mullen is my Tetris hero. When I back in 2011 in a hotel lobby, when he was showing the ecstasy of order to a crowd of about 8. My best friend and I were up there watching this movie, and it wasn't even available on DVD yet. It was brand new, and they still haven't even had the second tournament yet, and we were just mesmerized. And I got involved in the tournament right after that, being an early sponsor, and that's how I'm here today, just getting on the ground floor with that. But Ben was the star of that movie. It wasn't Jonas, weirdly enough, and I'm glad that he's still here all these years later. Later on, we're gonna have
streams to pull up.
Okay. Don't like the hero.
Okay. All right, Ben's stream is fine. That's perfect.
All right.
And then LMAO stream is fine as well. All right, think that's good.
All right.
Sweet.
Bring them up. There they are.
All right, names, of course, are distorted because of different links. All right, so this is going to be this has potential to be quite the exciting match. You know, Ben Mullen, CTWC veteran, 1.1 PB, and LMAO recently got a max, also with a, you know, not necessarily 1.1 PB just yet.
And looking at Ben, I think Ben had LMAO's haircut at some point in his youth. I'm just gonna guess that.
Okay, so when we have it ready from both, because I'm pretty sure they've been warming up since then.
Yeah, they're beyond warm at this point. They're hot. Let's go, guys. Let's do this.
So, yeah.
Like the pajama pants that Ben has on, the proper Zoom meeting attire.
Just gotta wait for it to buffer a little bit.
LMAO in the shorts because it's November.
Alright, looks like their streams are dying for me, which is unfortunate.
Got a question in the chat: Is Ben Mullen gonna Ben Mullen? That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a very good question. Pretty sure, you know, if he gets into the post transition, we might see a Mullen.
I give him permission. I want to see Ben Mullen max out in a CTWC event, even if it doesn't technically count as a max out in the scorebook. That would be the most Ben move.
Alright.
I remember
LMAO's
back...
ready. We just need a ready from Ben now.
Okay.
Right.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, they both are ready. Let's go ahead and count them down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
Tetris.
And then right as soon as we
How
count
synced
down.
up our mics are. I tried to link up with you. I don't want to be as bad as Vandy and Chris Tang. So.
Oh wow.
Uh-oh.
That is terrifying. Okay.
LMAO went to light speed for a moment.
And the stream is
False start. 5-yard penalty. Still
okay.
first down.
It's good. And we're still waiting on Ben to
LMAO
start.
is playing. Ben starting. All right, here we go. So LMAO has been spotted a 1 Tetris lead. It doesn't really matter. Time does not play a factor.
Yeah, it's not who can get the highest score the fastest. Who's the highest score at the end of, you know, both players topping out.
LMAO missing that square drop early on. He's going to have about a 6-7 line solve here. And Ben is opened up and ready for his first Tetris. Boom, Tetris for Ben Mullen.
This is actually another Daz versus Hyper Tapper battle. LMAO, he started off as a Daz player, but now he's a Hyper Tapper. And, you know, Ben Mullen, of course, one of the veteran Daz players. So, seems we're having just constant stream issues with LMAO.
So go ahead and keep playing, Ben. We'll try to get LMAO up here. We'll see what the ruling is. And now Ben's frozen.
I knew it was a bad omen whenever I was trying to pull up over their streams, and both were having issues. But 74,000 for LMAO, 37,000 for Ben.
Ben's going to work on a column 4 Tetris here. He's doing his best imitation of the other vet, Quaid, with his center wall play here, although he had to cut off as well, so that's going to be a pretty frantic solve. He does get the column 4 Tetris, but LMAO has a 60,000 point lead at 27 lines.
So
that's about
they actually
3
caught
Tetris.
up to each other.
Yeah. It's magic.
Ah, yes, I do see a couple of pushdown points over there for Ben. And, you know, seeing how some of the matches in the gold bracket ended, you know, it came down to like 400 point differences. You know, if you push down all throughout 18, you would have had that 400 points. Wow.
The classic beta strip ending from a couple years ago, 180 points. Ben having to hang that Z up high, desperately needs a line, gets it. Dirty Tetris halfway up the board for Ben Mullen. Still got some cleanup work to do. LMAO, we will find out what happens with his game when it comes back up.
Okay.
There we are. It's a fun stream, guys. Let's have fun with it.
Yeah, it looks like LMAO is going for row 3 Tetrises and managed to accrue a 100,000 point lead.
Yeah, it's pretty substantial early on. 272 through 65 lines is pretty great. That's about 60-70% Tetris rate. Ben's got the clean board, though. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, he actually cleaned that up really quickly. You know, it looked like he was at the borderline of topping out, but it's now, like, absolutely perfectly fine.
He was clearing that out like a tapper typically clears out. You don't see too many DAS players hanging around on that top half of the board at 18. LMAO is finally going to burn down his last few lines to get back to the bottom, but then it stream froze again, so we'll get a flash update when it shows up. Ben is clean. Got good posture. This is how old Ben is. When he got his first max out back in like 2012, I believe, he celebrated by buying a 6-pack of Pepsi Max, which I don't think they make that anymore. So that's the dated reference of how old Ben is. If anybody remembers Pepsi Max, that's Ben Mullen right there. LMAO is back. He's got a 355 at 93 lines, so clean board. He's looking to transition about 500,000 or so.
Yeah, and then LMAO is still, keeping up this lead. Definitely, having a lead, any kind of lead in a post-transition is an advantage, because that means your opponent has to play just a little bit more aggressive than maybe they might be comfortable with. And, having the difference in play styles, Ben, can't build as high as LMAO can. So he needs to be, wise on where he decides whether or not to play aggressive or to play conservative.
And we're back, and the lead has shrunk down to about 40,000 points. So it's about a 2 Tetris difference. Ben's still behind, but we're approaching transition. 2 clean boards. For the first time today, we're going to get some level 19 play. And as I always say, watch the transition.
Yeah.
Not only the increase in speed is a jolt to even the best players, and getting tucks and other crazier maneuvers right at the transition is difficult to recalibrate your play for that. And Tetris for Ben with the Tetris tie at 121. LMAO has transitioned at 480.
Yeah, very strong transition.
Probably about a 55% Tetris rate for that, roughly. Not quite million-point pace.
Yeah.
Did not get confirmation on whether our players are using Game Genies or not. So in the case there is a double max out, our judges will go back and review if they have to. So we will have a true winner based off a replay and a judge. So Ed Mullen missing the Z there, missing the tap. He's behind by about 100,000 points again. He's going to have an awful lot of dig work here to catch up, and LMAO is looking pretty clean at 575 and 158 lines.
Yeah.
Interesting that LMAO doesn't have like a base to typer tap on. He's holding it old school Thor style.
Yeah.
Lots of
But, Ben Mullen, yeah, he's just going to top out. So LMAO takes his first game, but very strong first game it was. Both players, going into transition. So LMAO is good.
literally LMAO is going to Ben Mullen. I like it. He's not. Raises his arm in victory. Still got 2 to go, though. Let's see how this plays out.
When we have a ready from them in chat, we can get started with the second match. And then after this, we're going to end stream real quick and see if I can fix with these buffering issues that chat's talking about.
All right.
Ben is ready. Didn't see a ready from LMAO yet.
And chat's gone down the meta hole. Ben Mullen. I mean, there's so many layers. It's so dense. They're ready from Ben.
All right. Did we get a ready from LMAO? I'm looking. I haven't seen it yet. All right, he's asking for 1 second. Okay.
1 second. He's memeing with his pals, or we don't know. Now ready. All right, here we go.
Okay. Let's go ahead and count them down. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
Game 2. LMAO 1-0. Ben's gonna have to dial up the aggression, or I guess in these early rounds, survive to the kill screen. It's a lot of runway to give up if you only top out at level 23 or so.
Yeah. It's like there's some massive stream delay over there for Ben. So LMAO is going to be 5 lines in the future, but seeing as Ben has pushed down a couple of pieces, could be, easily caught up.
Try to catch up, but that's Minnesota. They're always behind.
And LMAO already going for
LMAO.
2 Tetrises. Oh my gosh, Ben.
Yeah. Ben needing that L desperately. He's going to fill in with a square.
Yeah, finally got that J.
The Road 2 Tetrises I like to call Zoom meeting Tetrises because you don't necessarily shower every day if you're on Zoom meetings, but it's still clean enough. And
yeah, but
75,000, 19 lines.
He needs to be careful here because this column ate well, especially it being slightly dirty. It could potentially be disastrous if this drought continues.
Tetris for LMAO. He's going to keep playing one off the bottom. It's not super risky.
All right.
But it's just fun just to see where he's going to do his transfer, if he's going to do his transfer. And Ben's clean again, but he's down 100,000 points already. He's basically wasted his first 20 lines getting back into scoring position. So he's got an awful lot of work ahead of him.
Yeah, but now he's just waiting on the long bar to score his first Tetris. And it appears that he's getting shrouded for it. There it is. Finally, boom. Tetris for Ben Mullen. And now LMAO having to do just a slight amount of burning. In fact, he's looking for perfect pieces, and it comes. So, definitely has the advantage this game. And, ooh, Ben Mullen misses the T-spin.
You'd see the shrug. He's like, ugh. Those reaction times go down with old age. I say that from experience. Let me tell you. You're talking 1/20th of a second at level 18. That's not something that you can keep your focus on throughout your middle-age years. Believe me.
Yeah.
LMAO's got 212,061 lines. That's a very strong score.
Yeah, definitely.
At 100.
Definitely a score that he liked to, get a mid 500, which, he could definitely max off of that. So Ben just has to try and play efficient this next half of the pre-transition.
Looking good so far. It's good RNG when there's actually a place to put the square if you get 2 squares in a row. I mean, that's a bad build, but RNG actually works sometimes in your favor. And LMAO's got a stream reset. Hopefully we'll get him back up here. Ben's going solo just the way he likes it. LMAO's back, and Ben has cut this down to a 1 Tetris deficit.
Yeah.
So LMAO is working about in that yellow zone halfway up the board. Tappers can play up there, but 1 misdrop and the game is over.
And ooh, oh my gosh, he's setting up for a dirty. That was not the move.
He's not going to get the line, and Ben needs 228,000 to take game 2 here. He's Tetris ready. Gets the line 1 piece too late. Gets another line. Boom Tetris for Ben. He takes game 2, and we are going to our first East-Sider of the day, folks.
Yeah, I thought that, he was going to, take the conservative way and use that long bar to burn out. But then he built up for the Tetris, so Ben is good. Not sure if he realizes it yet.
Yeah.
Kind of saw like a sigh of disapproval after a misdraw.
Don't Ben Mullen this game. This isn't the game you want to show off. Come on, Ben. Come on, Ben.
Fun time.
That's rooting you on. The madman's doing it. Come on, Ben.
Okay, I think
you're good.
I think he's aware now.
I think he's just now realizing he's won.
Yeah, there it is. I'd say he did like an 8th Ben Mullen, not the full Ben Mullen, but an 8th.
He did a Beh, not a Ben Mullen, just the first 2 letters. So So we got LMAO, so strong game 1. He got a little too frisky with game 2. Now we're going to see within a decider here who's going to advance.
Yeah, and then we'll reset stream and hopefully fix these issues. So
yes, today is the silver bracket. We guess we could have put that on our display, but we'll just keep saying silver bracket over and over again. And
yeah, but the main bracket is on December 6th, so be looking forward to that.
The top 8, where Joseph Saley, the defending champ, is going for a three-peat, but it is not a sure thing with this crazy group of young players we have this year. So if we're ready with game 3, we'll get this started.
We're still waiting on readies from them.
Ready from LMAO. We got a pretty evenly split fan base and chat here. That's always nice to see.
All right, Ben is also ready.
Mullen is ready.
Let's count them down to their decider. 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
Tetris. So sometime next week, Ben will get that message and start his game.
Actually, he started his game first.
Wow, look at that. Frisky Ben.
I think he's going off of chat as opposed to waiting for, the auditory.
Oh, that's
which
probably
is ideal.
Smart. He does work for a college. Yeah. And LMAO starts his game. So this time Ben has the one Tetris early advantage.
Yeah, and he has actually pushed down for quite a few pieces, so it's going to get those 2 Tetrises. It's actually, so far, both players stacking this game really well, but it is, the first 4 lines, but a lot of people like to gauge how well they'll do in the game depending on how well they do in the first 20 lines. Like, if they get 5 Tetrises, they're like, okay, this is going to be a game for me. And then, if they get, 1, they're like, all right, this is not the game.
That A-B select start is so tempting when you're playing by yourself. But players can get into a bad habit, especially like in CTMs and stuff, with people rage quitting with the A-B select start. And in our tournament, if you do that, it's an automatic disqualification. So I'd like to try to tell players to get out of that habit and play through or top out on purpose. Don't A-B select start in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
Good stacks here. We got a virtual tie game.
Yeah, LMAO actually has only burned 3 lines.
Wow.
So there's this 4th, but really strong performance by both of them early on. It's just LMAO's been playing a little bit more efficient.
I don't get the statistics for pieces with this setup, but
those are how many long bars each player has received.
Right.
So they're both about even long bars.
Good.
So yeah, LMAO has just been utilizing his long bars a little bit better.
Now he doesn't have a place to put a Z. He does open as well. Gets down to Tetris. Now he's in burn mode.
What a pristine
Ben's going to take
board.
the lead here.
Yeah, pristine board by Ben.
195 at 46 lines. That's that 100,000 points per 20 to 25 line pace that you're looking for a million points.
Yeah, it's going to he's going for conservative burns here.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a massive long bar dependency for LMAO.
It's Dirty Tetris ready, but he covered as well one piece too early. He's going to uncover it here, but he needs that line piece now.
Oh, he just barely gets over with tapping. Nice. All right, he's bringing the stack down.
Back into yellow now.
All right, these pieces are definitely helping him out, but Ben Mullen is also taking advantage.
Yeah, 70,000 point lead now. That's about 3.5 Tetrises. Tetris is worth 22,800 points at level 18.
What a fantastic dig,
and LMAO
though.
is clean again. Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular. Now he's got to focus on, trying to be efficient again.
Yep. Ooh, he hung the L.
Okay. All right, we are back.
But surviving those mistakes is key. Like we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen anybody get to level 29 yet, and that is so much runway to work with. So even if you get a bad placement here and there, burn it down, get rid of it. Don't have to get 100% Tetris rate, especially.
You know,
Even in the gold bracket, not most games did not require getting to 1 million. There were a handful that did, but a lot of games players could have survived and overtaken their opponent had they played all the way through.
yeah. A little bit of panic flips over there by LMAO. Definitely can see like nerves might be affecting him a little bit, especially, you know, after getting out of that risky situation. But
it tends to happen after hero digs like that. Players just kind of relax a little too much and then misdrop again. So you saw LMAO there. He tried to wipe his brow there and misdropped that square. Ben is expanding his lead now. He's up 170,000 points now. That's a massive lead coming to transitions.
Yeah, definitely, you know, first priority is LMAO needs to make it to transition because there's 750-ish thousand points that you can get in the post-transition. So he can use it to overcome any lead that Ben Mullen has built up. But if he doesn't make it there, you know, that's going to be it. Ben Mullen is just going pedal to metal, showing you why he is the Ben Mullen.
Needs a line now. Needs a line, and he's not getting it. He's going to top out at 263. And Ben Mullen, OG Tetris hero, advances to round 2.
Not to mention,
and LMAO gives us a little serenade on his guitar. Nice.
This is actually quite the game from Ben Mullen. He could have potentially got a 600k transition off of it.
But don't Ben Mullen this, Ben. Save it for later.
Okay. So we're going to take down stream, tweak a few settings, and hopefully things will be back up to normal.
We'll see you in a moment.